Hi Facebook, Chef Ben here at Kitchen Door Catering in Bedford, Nova Scotia. I'm joined today by two friends of mine. I have Heather and Jill from Soup Sisters, which is a great organization, and I'm going to let you tell them about that. So first, let's talk about how you got involved with Soup Sisters, what it is, and how you found us.
Okay, probably about 5 years ago now. I was coming home from the United States with a friend, and she lived in Vancouver, and I, of course, here in Halifax. And she said, "Oh, hope I'm not late for a plane. I want to connect. I got to get back to Vancouver and go to Soup Sisters." I said, "What are you talking about?" And so she said, "I make soup once a month with a group of people, and we donate it to a women's shelter for women who are fleeing domestic abuse from intimate partners." So I came back to Halifax, and I said, "I'm going to get hold of this thing." So, of course, there wasn't any Soup Sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So I emailed through to Calgary, where they started it, and Sharon Hampton said, "I'll get back to you."
How long have they been going in Calgary?
Since 2009.
Okay.
So, and then Jill's probably got a similar kind of story.
And I was visiting friends and family in Calgary, and I saw in the paper that they were going to launch their cookbook, and I thought, what's Soup Sisters? And thought, that's what we need in Halifax. I thought the model of how they do Soup Sisters and now how we do it is just so simple and wonderful. And so I came home and I contacted Sharon, emailed her in Calgary, and the other two, Vicki was also original Vicki Kaiser, and she had emailed, and all different people emailed.
Hi, Vicki and Sheila.
Yeah. And Sharon wrote us back and said, "Here's 8 people who want to start Soup Sisters. Get together." And
We
so
didn't know
we
each
met.
other.
Didn't know each other. We met at Starbucks, and
We took
Heather
a cookbook. I bought a
Heather
cookbook.
had the cookbook, and I walked in. Oh, there's it. So we went over, and
Here is the cookbook. You can buy this here at Kitchen Door.
Yeah.
and then we all have clicked. We worked so hard. Took us a year to find a home. We need Soup Sisters needs a home, and we didn't think of Kitchen Door right off, and we should have, because when we did, after a year of asking around restaurants, universities, anything we could think of, someone suggested here, and I phoned, and Patty effectively said, "Yes, we're in." And I said, "Well, just a sec now. I have to come and talk to you." "No, we're in." And we have this incredible home here in Kitchen Door Catering every month for Soup Sisters.
So how does it work? Like, let's say there's people out there that want to come to Soup Sisters. How do they get in contact with you? What do they do when they get here?
Okay, I do all of the communication with anybody who wants to come and make soup. So most of our inquiries come through the website. So they'll go on the website and they see, "Oh, I want to come in November." So they go up on November and they try to book it, and they need a little password. So then they send an email through to Soup Sisters, which gets sent to me if it's on the Halifax site, and I then send them the password to come and register.
Okay.
So it's a cost to coming, because of course we have to supply all the fresh ingredients, and there's a small cost of renting your kitchen here. But we also give...
So it's $55.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
We also give everybody a glass of wine when they arrive, and then a gourmet soup supper, which you make.
We make it.
And amazing baked goods, which
Yes.
you make.
I don't make the baked goods. We have pastry. Pastry does that. I'm not gonna get in trouble tomorrow saying that I make the good baked goods.
And then another glass of wine. So it really is really good value, because of course all the food is fresh and everything is made. The stocks and everything are made right from scratch.
Yeah. And then so we end up with, how much soup would you say we
Over
usually?
200 servings of soup.
Over 200 servings, and then that gets donated to
Bridie House, which is a women's shelter
in Halifax.
For women and
Stage
children.
1.
Yeah, it's a stage 1 for women fleeing intimate partner domestic abuse.
So
That is the shelter base that Soup Sisters everywhere donates to. So there are over 23 cities in North
Wow.
America.
So it's all
which
North
is-
America.
Well, there's 2 in the United States. There's one on the East Coast and one in LA.
So when you come to Soup Sisters, like you're getting the experience of coming into the kitchen, you get to make some soup, you get a good meal, but really you get to give a meal to people who really need it and need the comfort, right? Like that's really what it's about more
It's
than
a hug
anything.
in a bowl.
Exactly.
So we
yeah.
call it.
And it's making that connection with, women and their children who are going through a terrible, terrible time. And so after we have this great evening, we start at 6 and finish at 9, and we end up with 200 servings of, fantastic soup. The next morning it goes to Briny House, it's delivered, and at lunch they might have, start with one of the soups that we've made. And, we've made that connection. They know that the community has come together the night before. They've, everybody's paid money to come and support them and connect and say, you know what, we're thinking of you and we want to help. And this is just a fabulous way to do it.
So we're not, donating our leftover sandwiches from a
Absolutely.
party, or our clothes that our children have grown out of, or, all those things are really good and they do need them, but we get together and we make
really
it
show that
just
there's care.
for
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
So on that note, let's make some soup.
going.
Okay.
Patty says hello.
Hi, Patty.
Yeah, and Suzanne Kavanaugh Kelly says Soup Sisters sounds like a win-win.
my wife.
Excellent.
Hi,
Thank you.
Susan.
Come join us.
Yeah.
So-
So usually we decide what
Yes.
soups we're going to make then,
So
right?
usually I get told what we're going to make, but
That's right.
today I thought that I would tell them what we're going to make.
Because Soup
Sounds
Sister
good.
recipes are developed from submissions all across the country, and we get them quantified up to 15-liter big, huge pots. So we usually we tell Kitchen Door Catering which of the variety of about 40 different soups we want to make. We'll
Yeah.
make 4 each month, but tonight Ben's telling us what soup to make, and so we don't know what soup we're making.
So I think that I chose an appropriate soup, and I'll get you to chop this up while
Okay.
I'm talking about this. So they know what they're doing because they're here once a month. They've already been given the direction of how to deal with the vegetables. The soup that I chose for them today, I first had when my wife and I were in Portugal, and it was made for us by this really nice Dutch woman that we were staying with. And it's called stone soup, and the whole idea behind it is that these people were kind of wandering through this village asking for handouts, and nobody wanted to give them anything. So they had the idea to take their pot, put it over a fire, add some water from a stream and a rock. And they sat there and they smelled it and they pretended they were really enjoying it. And then eventually a local came up and said, "Oh, like, what are you doing? Can I have some of your soup?" And the people said, "Yes, but it needs something. Like, it's missing a little garnish. You could really use a carrot." So the townsperson who said no earlier ran to his house, grabbed a carrot, brought it back, and said, "Here," hoping that he could have some soup. And it went on like this until eventually the whole village had contributed, and everybody got a share of the soup. And so I thought that was a really good kind of metaphor for what you guys do,
Yes,
where
yes.
everybody comes together for the village.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose the soup, and because it's really delicious.
Good.
Yes.
Mia Voss, travel blogger we brought here.
Hi, Mia.
From Colorado. She's watching. She said she loves what you guys are
From
doing.
Colorado?
Yep.
Colorado.
Wow. Hi.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay.
Don't want
Is that okay?
That's perfect.
Okay, so the ingredients we're going to use in this soup are onions, carrot, and celery to start, and then we have this beautiful ham that we got from the
Nice.
pork shop in New Glasgow.
Yeah.
They sent it to us up special. And then we have some chorizo sausage. We're gonna add a little turnip, a little cabbage, some potato, and then we're gonna finish it with some fresh cilantro.
And I can tell you can smell that sausage.
Yes, it's really,
Very
really good.
potent. Great.
Fantastic. Wow. And this, to have the opportunity to make soup in this incredible kitchen.
Yeah, it's great.
Every month I just can't wait to get here and just be in the environment. I mean, Ben leads us and he shows us how to chop with, as Heather's doing now, without
losing
her
your fingers. Yeah.
And so we
And
do
not crying.
And not crying,
I
yeah.
know. Like, it's
Yeah,
a secret way to do an onion when you're not crying.
But you got to come to Soup Sisters to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we do get that little cooking lesson at the beginning, which is so much fun, eh?
Yeah, and to me, like, it is funny because I find when people come in, they're always like super interested in the kitchen. Like, they're always interested in the equipment and how big the pots are and
Yeah.
how big our whisks are and stuff, because it's not something that people see every day, unless
Yeah.
you're me and the people who work in.
And we have people, who participate, they've been to a cooking course and they've got a white jacket and they show up and they have their white chef jacket on and, it's just fabulous. It always, every month it's amazing who comes and what a great time we have.
And Roberta Thompson says hi,
Oh
Jill.
my gosh, hey Roberta.
And Brianna just showed up as well.
Hey Brianna.
Excellent.
Wow.
Do I have to do another onion?
Nope.
Oh,
You can
just
start
only
on
one.
Jill's carrots there. And
Okay.
Jill, I think that's
Okay.
good, and you can start
Let me
on the
do the
turnip.
carrot. Oh,
Okay.
drop
I
on the
dropped
floor. You
one.
better wash
Oh
that.
no.
You wash that,
No
man.
5-second rule on Facebook
No,
Live.
no.
Sisters generally. Like, who would
We
you
let
say?
anybody come. If,
Yeah.
if it's guys, we call them Brock brothers.
Broth,
Yeah,
right?
and everybody's invited. We've had children come.
Yeah. We had an autistic group, a young adult.
Yeah.
They were great fun.
My mother-in-law has come from Prince Edward Island a couple of times.
Yeah.
She's awesome. Anyone can come. It's just fantastic. And you can come by yourself and meet new friends. Or you can come, book club, special birthday, baby shower,
Corporations could
Oh
come.
yeah. We have had companies come for team building.
Yeah, we have a company coming this month, like next Tuesday. Yeah,
Awesome.
really great. Can I put a shout out to them?
Absolutely.
Thanks, Admiral Insurance, for
Thank
doing
you.
that. Really appreciate
you.
your group coming.
Lisa
Yeah.
Walsh.
Oh, Lisa!
Lisa Walsh says hello. Benjamin Nymphet. Why can't Grammy hear me?
Hi, Graham. Hi, Darren. Wow. Hi, guys.
So right now, all I'm doing is sauteing the onions while Jill peels a turnip and Heather's chopping carrots. And I'm going to add the celery in there as well, because those two are going to take the longest to cook out of anything. We'll set that aside. So I'm sure, like, you guys have been obviously at Soup Sisters here since the beginning.
Yep.
So what are some of the, like,
One of the things,
what are some of the key things you have to remember when making soup?
you have to chop everything the same size.
Yes, very important. Why?
Well, because it all cooks
Exactly.
at the same time, man.
So we'll all be cooked
Yeah.
evenly. That's
You guys do listen to me.
We do.
Amazing.
Oh, Ben, yes. And also, something that's very important in our planning, we have a planning meeting every month, is we have to make sure that we get feedback about the soups, that the women and children, we're making the right soups. And
I didn't like that beet soup we made one time. It's red. Or the one with broccoli in it that was all green.
Yeah, but they love, our favorite is chicken wild rice.
Oh, that's
and
the mushroom.
Mushroom.
We did that
that's
one last time. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, that was a nice
And
one.
chicken Creole. They really like that one too.
And the chilies.
Yeah. And pizza soup.
yes,
They
Oh,
like
the
that.
pizza one,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna make
Yeah.
that coming up.
So there's all kinds of different soups. Like, it's not just chicken noodle. Like, there's all kinds of different
Nope.
combinations. So you will actually learn some different things when you come.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
and
Yeah.
and we also always try to do like a chicken soup, maybe a beef based soup, or like a beef or pork. We don't do pork very often because that's not so popular. But we always do a total vegetable one. So if somebody
we're good.
is meat restricted.
Okay.
Well, I can get you another cutting board if you want to chop that up.
Okay.
You guys talk first.
Yeah, and I was also going to say, the chili we make, they often use for dinner. It's not just a soup.
Yes.
It's actually a dinner meal, and with this the soup donations, it impacts the budget of Bryony House
Oh
too
yeah,
in a
operating budget.
very
Yes.
positive way.
Yes.
So that's always great.
But
as well.
they also said that because we put them in the small 1 liter containers for freezing, that they can give those 1 liter containers to the women when they go to second stage housing,
Right.
which is a really nice thing to take.
Yeah.
And then some of the women, when they come back, at the end of the month, if the food budget is run out, they can give them another one of those
Right,
frozen soup
yeah.
containers.
Yeah,
And I
which
mean,
is-
it's just lovely to be able to extend further out than just even while they're still at the house.
Right. Yeah.
You missed that.
What did I miss?
Well, why
We'll
we
tell
put
you
it
later.
why we put it in the 1 liter containers.
We'll tell you later.
Oh, yeah.
And Evan Wilkinson just asked, what are your favorite soups?
Oh.
Whoa,
That's a hard one.
that's really tough. Oh, smelling cooking, the chicken Creole is really good smelling when you're cooking it.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
and also I do love that chicken and boiled rice and
Yes.
mushroom. I mean, that's
Yeah.
one of my
That's enough
favorites
carrot.
for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll take the carrot and add that in now.
Okay. I don't know.
Do that,
Do I-
Heather?
I like squash soup, but not too sweet. I think the ones that we make are a little bit sweet. But
I find that often there's always one that like I'm kind of iffy on, but then when I try it, like I'm always pleasantly surprised by them.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
the pizza one, or I think there's a hamburger one as well.
the hamburger
That's
soup is
right.
really
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Oh, and the other one, I just thought of something. It takes 3 tastes. You have to taste it 3 times to get the
Exactly.
true taste. So
Exactly.
that we don't season on the first taste. We actually have to. I remember that's a tip. Oh yeah, it's coming
So
back.
I'm gonna tell
Okay.
you, if you leave this flat,
Oh,
it'll be a lot easier for you to cut it.
okay.
Just like that. See?
Oh, like that.
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem.
Ted just came on. Ted Tupper,
Hi, Ted.
Patty's husband.
Oh, great.
Oh, hi Ted.
So what's like? I'm sure each of you have a favorite memory, but like, what's your favorite memory from Soup Sisters in all the years you've been doing? Because you've been doing it for what, 2-3 years now?
We're coming up on
3.5.
almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years. Yeah.
I think the first time we came here.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because it was such an amazing experience. Our opening was fabulous. We had 40 people making soup. We packed them into the back area to make soup. It was
Yeah.
really, really wonderful.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but every single night is wonderful. Like, we never have a complaint. Nobody ever says they haven't had a wonderful time. Like, it's just always such a really good experience every single night.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
I'm gonna take some of those, Jill, so don't cut me, okay?
okay.
And honestly, that's
I've-
probably enough.
You know, I've met up with people who I hadn't seen in years. They were like, "Are you Jill?" And yes, and so you know, in the past, like at university or you know, long time ago, and so that was really fun. And one of my friends, she met a girl from high school that she hadn't seen since high school. And she
Yeah,
met
when
her
we
at-
first started
at
doing
Soup
it, there was a
Sisters.
lot of that. A lot
Yeah.
of people coming and meeting up with people that they hadn't ever met before, hadn't seen for
For
years.
a long time. We've
Yeah.
had those maritime experiences, which
Yeah.
is, you know, really, really neat. But I mean, it was a really neat thing to have my mother-in-law here, and
Yeah, she
and-
cooked with Larry and your husband, my
Yes,
husband and your
that's
husband.
right. And
Yeah, that was
you know,
fun.
it was very special.
A shout out to them.
Yeah.
And all the kids at Regal Park are watching. Grandma right now want to know what you're cooking. What soup you're
Oh,
making.
we're making stone soup, and I'm sure some of you know the story. If you missed Ben's story about what stone soup is, and there is a children's book. It's an excellent children's book based on the story that Ben learned in Portugal. Chef Ben, I should say, because
Just Ben's fine.
well, Ben's my son, so he's watching,
Oh,
so I
is he?
have to different, and yeah, so, so all the kids in Regal Park, where are you? Oh my gosh, this is so
The
cool.
whole thing?
No, probably just a quarter of it.
Okay.
What can I do?
You can start picking cilantro.
Okay, so we'll just clean it?
Yeah, so I already washed it, so we'll just pick the leaves off just
Oh,
like
okay.
that.
Oh, that was very good, so.
So Jill's family, see, she's actually chopping.
I was gonna actually just make a comment, but I'm surprised Heather hasn't said anything.
Oh no, Jill's
Yeah.
notorious.
Well,
She's
you know,
getting
my
better.
role overall often has been just as sort of the support.
The communicator.
Yes,
She's
that's
a
right.
communicator.
And I want to make sure everyone's
You want to chop small?
happy, and if there's any questions while they're working, I like to walk around and talk to everybody and see how they're doing. But I have started to chop, and so far so good.
You
know,
haven't
no-
lost any fingertips yet.
No cuts or anything. So it's all been good. So
I think that's just a sign of how good of a teacher I am.
yes,
More than
Yes.
anything.
yes,
Oh,
right,
totally.
exactly.
You don't know that he's new to Kitchen Door, eh?
Sorry?
He's new to Kitchen Door
Yeah.
catering.
Well, I've been here since January. That's
Yes.
not almost a year.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
good.
he's an old
That's
hand
great.
now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my! So, yeah, and we have people who you know. One of the good things about Soup Sisters is you only have to sign up for 1 month, or you can come all the months.
And
So
we get people that come back
Yes, we
quite
do.
that's what I
often.
was going to
Oh,
say.
yes.
We have incredible supporters who I call them our angels, actually, because there's some months we need a minimum of 12 people, and sometimes we don't get the minimum. We have coming up to a week before the event. there might be 5 or 6 people registered, and so our angels are always coming, and they bring the numbers up, and you know, they're just wonderful, wonderful volunteer, you know, soup supporters.
And Andrea says the chef's a cutie. I'm not trying to start anything here. And Mike Baltus came on. Say hi to Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hi.
Does he, Andrea Anderson, does he steal pots as well? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that
Is
means.
it a steel pot? Yeah.
It is.
Does he steal? Yeah, just
Yeah.
like that. That's good. That's good.
It's a pretty small one, actually. We should show.
Do you want to show one of the big
Yeah, I'm
ones?
going to get one of the big ones. Here, Jill. Okay.
So, for those people actually following the recipe, we have
This is what we usually use.
carrot,
Those
onion,
big
celery,
ones.
turnip, and now I'm adding cabbage to it.
Patty wants to see your faces because you guys are deep down.
Oh,
Look, that was a nice shot of the faces.
Oh.
Beautiful, gorgeous.
around there, Joel.
Say cheese.
Cheese! We're not soup, we
Do
should
you
have
want,
said soup.
you want more cabbage?
Good
No, that's
soup.
good, actually.
Okay.
Great soup. Yeah.
We got extra over here, Patty.
Okay.
He's not throwing it out. do I do anything else, or I'm chopped up?
Do
You
you
can
wanna-
start chopping
do
the
you want-
cilantro. I'm going to
Okay.
add the pork chop ham in here.
Oh, yum. It's starting to smell really good. I
It is
know we
starting to
don't
smell
have
really
that opportunity to send the flavor out, but
I think
it's
Adam's
all coming
working on
together.
that for us.
It's coming together really nicely.
And I'm going to add the chorizo sausage. This is actually pretty spicy, so I'm only going to add about half of it.
Okay.
And the beauty of this soup is it's really just one of those soups. I think every culture kind of has one where you can just throw whatever you have in the pot. It doesn't have to be these specific ingredients. It's just whatever you have lying around. And
So
that's
what kind
the
of
whole
stock are
idea.
you going to put in there after?
I'm going to put chicken stock in.
Are you?
Yep.
Okay, but you could put vegetable or something
You
in
could
it.
absolutely put vegetables. Yeah.
What's this about a stolen pot in New Brunswick?
I wasn't there.
That's all I'm just
I
saying.
was
There's
not
some
there.
comments happening here.
I was safe and sound here in the kitchen when that happened.
Somebody stole a pot.
I don't think it was intentional.
Oh, okay. That happened.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
You know, I left it.
Actually, we were planning on starting a Halifax, New Brunswick rivalry. So we stole your pot. Now come steal ours. That was please don't steal our pots. I'm joking. Completely joking. We need them all.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yes.
Okay, so we got our meat in there. I'm
we
going
good
to
with
add.
this?
Yeah, we'll add that at the very end.
Okay.
We'll add some stock.
So we have some potato here and some beans.
Yeah.
So the potato's already cooked.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna add that at the end.
And what's this beans here?
Those beans are gonna go into.
Do you want to put the
Oh, these are red
remnants
kidney.
in there?
These are red kidney beans.
Yeah.
So they've been all drained,
This
They've
stuff.
been
washed, cooked,
So
and
I
they're,
just
and they're
enough-
cooked really nicely too. They're like just a little bit soft.
Exactly. So I added just enough liquid to cover by about 1.5 inches the vegetables we have in there. We're going to bring that to a boil, and then we'll add our beans and our potatoes, and then at the very last second we'll add our cilantro.
Patty's on there explaining as kitchen door
The
to
pot.
save the reputation of kitchen door.
Sorry, we didn't mean to bring something up. We shouldn't.
We are not a pot stealing company, I promise.
No.
Oh,
They are the most helpful, wonderful
oh. They've got lots of pots
company.
here.
We do have lots of pots.
Yeah. Yes.
So you guys are volunteers, right?
That's
You're-
right.
Yeah.
We
you're
have day
volunteers.
jobs.
Yeah.
Yes, we have day jobs.
Yeah.
You're a
I-
teacher,
I'm a teacher.
and you're
I'm
an architect.
An interior designer.
An interior
Yeah.
designer.
Yeah. But we both like to cook.
Yes.
Yes.
And
So that appeals to us. And it's it's very fun to be able to come cook in a commercial
Absolutely.
kitchen. You know, I mean, at home is great, but to be able to come and, I mean, we're only at one of these tables. There's like another huge one, and there's
And then another one
great
back,
big,
too.
huge stoves and like big pots and all this, everything you need. It's really fun to be able to come in and work here.
yes, it
We
is.
really enjoy it. We wouldn't we wouldn't do it if we didn't like it.
And there's often, well, there always is more kitchen door staff who support us. We always have extra kitchen door staff who come as well, and
Yeah.
so there's lots of people to ask great questions about. If you have questions about cooking or produce or anything like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a wonderful time. Everybody's very friendly
And
and
our-
welcoming.
And I mean, for kitchen or catering too, like, you know, every month, it's a good thing because you have, 12 to 24 people
Mhm.
coming in and finding about your catering business.
Absolutely, yeah.
And often they take home really nice produce out of
Yes,
the
yeah.
cases.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
We have all kinds of stuff you can come by.
Yes. Yes.
I think I've actually taken some out to Regal Park.
So we have
To my son and his
Yeah.
and sons out there and the kids who are watching, some of the great cookies and things when I go out to visit, I've taken out some kitchen door things for you, remember?
Remember? Come get some more.
they'd have to come here.
No, they're fantastic.
So what are we doing with this soup you're making? What's going to happen with the soup?
Let's have it
So
tomorrow.
we're gonna have a bowl of it. Probably a fake bowl because I don't think it's gonna be ready in time.
It looks pretty good though.
And then tomorrow, actually, it'll probably go to the staff. That's what's been happening with all the food I've been cooking on the show. Is the staff just eat it in the morning? They're all usually pretty happy.
Yes.
That's why they're all watching.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I'm gonna have to. They're watching to see if they have to bring lunch tomorrow or not. I'm gonna add the beans in here now, and I'm gonna add the potatoes, which normally I wouldn't pre-cook the potatoes, but I was kind of hoping that we'd be able to get the soup done, but it's not gonna work out. But that's okay. We can still
Well, the soup needs to simmer for half an hour.
Exactly.
Or more,
And
at
this
least.
soup especially, like most soups are always better the next day. This one I find especially, the flavors all kind of come out, and you really get more flavor out of it the next day anyway.
So if
for you
anybody
kitchen
out
door
They're
there,
all excited. They're like, oops, there's all these hearts coming up.
so if anybody out there wants to come and make soup with us, January is, and from then in 2018, we've got lots of spaces. We make soup the first Tuesday of every month, except for July and August, because it's kind of hot.
And we're
they don't
really
you,
busy.
You're really
Yeah.
busy with stuff here, other catering things, so they don't really need us here. And
They can go to soupsisters.org
that's right.
to register and sign up whatever
Yeah.
month
Bring
you'd
your
like
group.
to come. Yeah, whatever, your group or yourself, and
Yep.
it's pretty simple.
And I'm sure we can share that website on our Facebook page.
You probably got it up there already.
Probably do.
Yeah.
The thing with the cookbook is anybody that comes here and they start to really like all the soups because you get to test all the 4 soups that we're making. So then they always want to know what the soup is. So we have 2 cookbooks and there's a 3rd one just come out, but our recipes are in the cookbooks. So, but they're only in 5-liter size. So you could make it for your family. A 15-liter you'd need it for your street group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to try the soup so far?
Yeah. Excellent.
It is a little bit spicy. I will warn you.
My wife Sarah just came on and said hello.
Hi, Sarah.
Heather Armour's coming for lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Vicky Kaiser said, Heather, Jill, and Ben, you are doing a great job, and I agree.
Thank you,
Wow.
Vicky.
Hi, Vicky. I wish you
She's
were
a
here.
super sister. Okay, that is
delicious.
really nice.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ladle
Super.
some out just so we can get a view of it.
Yep.
We got about 2 minutes left. Is there anything you guys didn't get to say that you want to, or anybody you want to thank, or anybody you want to?
I want to thank Kitchen Door Catering for asking us to come
I was
on.
not leading into that at all. I wasn't
But
fishing.
no, we have a big thanks,
Thank
super
you.
thanks to our home here in Kitchen Door Catering and everybody, Patty, right on down. I mean, it's fantastic. And all our soup sisters and brothers in Halifax who have
Yeah.
participated over the years, and the new soup sisters and brothers who might come out now, because we'd love to have you.
Looks really good. Thanks, Ben.
No
Yes.
problem.
Thank
So we
you.
have the
Delicious.
soup. Can you see that, Adam?
The soup?
Bring her right. Pass this way. I'll get nice and close.
Okay. Yeah.
Nothing goes better with a bowl of soup than one of our kitchen door
Oh,
green
yeah.
onion biscuits.
Unbelievable tea biscuits. And then once it cooks down and thickens up, it'll even more brothy
Absolutely.
than that.
Oh,
yeah.
it's delicious.
That looks really good.
Facebook, thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
to
you.
Jill and Heather for coming. Please sign up to Soup Sisters if you haven't done so. It's a really great cause. We really believe in it. We thank you guys for doing it. We're so happy to be able to host it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week with Facebook Live. Don't know who our guest is yet, but you will as soon as we do. See you.